Hello, how are we? We all keeping well? Trust everybody's over Christmas into the new year, and we're well into the new year now. We're, a few weeks into the new year, and some people are on veganuary or dry January, where they go off the booze for a month or a period of time anyway. I used to do dry January every year. I did it for years and years and years. But over the last couple of years, nah, not really. The last couple of years, just they've been that awful. Just I can't be bothered. But I did do a detox for a couple of what did I do? For a week. Sorry, I did it for a week. Went off the booze just because I didn't have any meat. Well, sorry, didn't have any red meat. I had no salt, no sugar, no tea, no coffee, no booze, none of that. No chocolate, none of that. Not like a huge amount of chocolate anyway, but I didn't have any of that for a little period of time. Always worthwhile doing, always. Sometimes I think the benefits are a bit overhyped. But it's always worthwhile giving yourself a little bit of a break. If nothing, just to reset your palate, just to take a little bit of a step back and consider, well, what do I actually like, or what am I missing, or what do I prefer, or when you do go back onto it, do you pick up things that you might not have noticed before because you've had, various different types of whiskies or different type of whatever drink you happen to be drinking. And so, yeah, it's always worthwhile, always worthwhile. Now, with that in mind, I decided I would give one of these a go. This is Lyres American Malt, impossibly crafted, non-alcoholic spirits. I'll let you in a little secret. If it's impossibly crafted, how did they do it? One wonders. Impossibly crafted, yet they still managed to do it. Ergo, it's not impossible. But there we go. Anyway, so I decided to buy this and see what it was like. Now, there's lots of stuff about this. It's this meticulously crafted on the label here. Homage to a timeless classic is an exquisite melange of natural extracts and essences sourced from the finest spices, oak, and smoke extracts into a... Oh, sorry. It's also rather delicious. Libations! Exclamation mark. I don't know what that means. Out here we have a saying. Some days you eat the bear, some days the bear eats you. Not me, I'm a vegan. I'm sort of baffled by what all that means. Lyres are alcohol-free homages to the greatest tipples of all time. That's basically what it says. A non-alcoholic drink bottled in Australia, manufactured with local and imported ingredients. No artificial sweeteners or colours. Contains natural flavours. Now it says here, the palate is vanilla, toasted nuts, gentle spices, offer a smooth and mellow finish. Now the ingredients. Obviously there's no booze in this, okay? It's zero alcohol. So it's not... there's a couple of these alternative things out now where there's a little bit of alcohol in them. I mean tiny little bits because they've distilled it and then run it through another process. Not sure exactly what it is, but I assume they've distilled it and then they sort of distill it again to take the alcohol out and keep what's left. That's what I assume they do with it. It says it's zero proof, from Zero Proof in Australia. Now the ingredients are water, glucose syrup, sugar, caramel sugar syrup, natural flavouring, acid, citric acid, preservative, potassium sorbate, and stabiliser, cellulose gum. So when it says natural flavours and stuff, refrigerate and consume within 12 weeks. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Screw top lid. We'll pour out a little bit. I don't think we need to let it, aerate. We don't need to keep it out for any period of time to let the oxygen work its magic on it. We'll give it a little bit of a swishy. On the nose, sort of caramelly nose to it. Tiny little bit of spice there, I suppose. But it's like, it smells like something that's kind of gone off a little bit. There's an almost a sort of rotted vegetal nose to it. Now, surprise, no legs to it. In for a penny, in for a pound. What can you say? This is supposed to be an alternative to people who are whiskey drinkers or bourbon drinkers or spirit drinkers, and it's an alternative to that, so that people can have a non-alcoholic version. You mix it up, put Coke in it, whatever. It's not. It's not. It just isn't. It's like a cordial. For people living in the UK, it's like Kiora or a diluting juice. The bottles of concentrate stuff you water down to make it taste. And that's what this is like. And it tastes like it's been overwatered. It tastes like someone has overdone it with the water. It's horrid, is what it is. I would defy anyone who's a spirit drinker at any point to be happy having bought this. I appreciate the effort that they've went to try and give people who are spirit drinkers an alternative, but this is not good. Don't be under any impression that this is going to have either the complexity, the flavour, the taste, anything even vaguely or remotely similar to what a spirit drinker would have. Okay, now the problem I have with this, it's not particularly expensive. And I mean, this is here in the States. It's still about $27 or something, I think it cost. Something around, say around 30. It's around $30. You can buy a reasonably decent, certainly palatable and drinkable whiskey for $30. But the whiskey has tax on it. Spirits tax. This doesn't. This is just a cordial drink. So where you get your spirit, to get your whiskey, you have to go through all the process. You have to pay the farmer for the grain, bring it in, mash it, run it through your stills, buy a cask, get your cask, has to go in there for a couple of years, 3 years, whatever, a number of years, then it has to be bottled, then you get the spirit tax on the top of it, etc., and out it goes. This doesn't. This is water and flavouring. I mean, it tells you caramel sugar, glucose syrup. So what are you paying the money for? Now, anyone who ever watches any of my reviews, I always set out to be positive about what you're buying, or I know lots of people put lots of time and effort and money and all of that kind of stuff into producing a spirit. And it's not my job to put the boot into people and say, this is awful, it's crap, any of that kind of stuff. I tend not to do like that. There's a few that I really don't appreciate a huge amount. But that's there's always another ulterior alternative notion for that. But why is this costing me more money than a blend of Scotch or a blend of Irish whiskey? Certainly an awful lot more than a lot of the bourbons that are sitting on the shelves down here, which are, a lot of them are very, very good value for money. Why are you paying this? Do not buy this. Okay, I'm telling you that now. Because it's an awful waste of money. It's not alcoholic, so there's no alcohol tax on it. It certainly doesn't taste anything. On the nose, it doesn't smell like a whiskey. It certainly doesn't smell like a bourbon. It smells like a slightly off cordial drink, which is pretty much what it is. Now, it says on it to consume within 12 weeks, and to keep refrigerated. Oh, sorry, no need to refrigerate. Once open, no need to refrigerate. Yes, because the bugs wouldn't even eat this. If you consume this within 12 weeks, I would question your taste buds. That's the truth. As I say, I tend not to put the boot into things, but when this is costing much, much more than a spirit, and is proclaiming to be a spirit, or an alternative to a spirit, I should say, what can I say? I'm baffled. I'm at a loss for words. Doesn't happen very often, but I am at a loss for words. If you are giving up alcohol for January, or going doing dry January, or doing dry any period of time, if you are relying on a crutch like this to try and weed you away from alcohol, you need to think there's a bit more of an underlying issue. If you want to have a dry period, I wholeheartedly encourage people to do so. I do it regularly myself. Certainly in January, I always used to. Not over the last couple of years, I do hold my hand up. But I think over the last couple of years, everybody's been getting it a bit tight, a little bit rougher than normal. So, if I have to I can't give this a whiskey mark. I can't give this a spirit mark. Not that I really do all the time anyway. This would be Zilcho out of Zilcho. It's awful. It tastes repugnant. And it's trying to pass itself off as an alternative, and it's just not. So don't bother. Yeah. Other than that, hope you're well and stay safe. And I shall catch up with you with a real spirit very shortly. So take care. Bye bye.